Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Onslaught Legends Series Season 3. A quick brain lag, Moff. Quick brain lag. I thought I was still with Kihan for a second, but I forgot we replaced
you
him with you.
gotta be the leading man, man.
It's okay. I was just checking if you were going to fill in or just going to wait. No, it's fine. We saw W just dominate Moff, which I think you saw as well. But now we get to see Cashback, yeah? Do the same potentially to Yogurt.
Yeah, it could be a very similar tale to the match that we just watched. Although Ping, I expected to put up like a bit more of the fight, but I think the way W played, it just completely shut them out of the round. Like they had ideas of what they wanted to do, but W was just so forceful. They just couldn't do anything. And
I don't know if it was with Keyhand, but you mentioned something. Was it with me or Keyhand where you expect or they need to take the points against matches like this? I'm not sure which team you were talking about anymore. I think it was maybe Cashback as well. They need these points still. Yeah.
I mean, this is basically a 3 points pinata, like not to be rude.
I mean, this would be fun, no?
Okay, maybe, but does anyone realistically expect Yogurt to win these games? Either way, this team, like I've been watching them quite a bit, like in the run up to them actually qualifying for OLS, during the OCS qualify rounds, and I was affectionately calling them the Yogurt pots. But I've been informed that a Yogurt pot, that's only a UK thing, and people are saying I'm really weird for calling them the Yogurt pots.
What is it? Wait, why yogurt pot?
Because it's a pot of yogurt.
Wait.
But apparently a pot of yogurt is only a UK thing. But it is what it is.
I think we just say yogurt, no? I don't.
Yeah. Well, you say yogurt, I say yogurt.
Yeah, but I don't say pot behind it.
Yeah,
I'm not going to the fridge. I don't go to the fridge. I'm like, I'm gonna go get a yogurt pot. I'm just saying. I just say I'm gonna go get a yogurt. Like.
I say yogurt.
When I was a child, I would say in Dutch "een potje yogurt," but that's different. That's like a Dutch.
Well,
which is the same.
We can all agree on the prediction.
Who voted for them? Let's go. Let's go.
It's going to be 2 players from Yogurt, I bet. Oh, it's Yogurt.
I'm gonna go find out. They're playing now against Cashback, right? Where is it? Cashback. I can tell you soon. 2 votes. Humble and need to turn off streamer mode. Humble's on their team, no?
Yep.
And Silt. So half, 50-50,
Yeah.
Split.
I mean,
I'm waiting for the day we have 100%.
Okay, so Cashback are doing a similar, I think it's identical lineup. We've seen this before, rinse and repeat. Triple BZ and quad T57 heavy. It's quite, like at first glance it seems kind of unusual, but on further glance, a further examination, it makes a lot of sense, right? You got the BZs to push aggressively, take the shots for the T57s, and just clean up anything in the middle. Yeah, but then look at Yogurt in return, bro. 4 T57 heavies, a 121B, a Fush B, and a 268. They have quite a lot of T57s of their own. It's going to be a clipping game. Yeah, and Love is so important in this round that he does not get picked early on. That Inspire is going to come in real clutch, and the DPM of the 121B, if he can just keep on firing his gun and not get picked, it's going to be aggressive 8-line push by Cashback. Yogurt are going to meet them there with 3 guns of their own. 3 against 4 though. The press getting pushed into the lane together with Humble on the D line. Cashback may think that they could swing and kill. He takes 1 from the BZ as well though. I'm not sure what the press is watching for. And so far unspotted Twilight is now spotted, but he also spots out the 3 people waiting in the trap. What does Cashback do? Do they continue? Do they hold? Twilight wants to go, cannot go. Liberty starting to pop his ability already. Gives 1, gives 2, gives 3. Last one out as well. And now Cashback has courtyard control though. They're trying to get back in. They're trying to get in from all these angles. Love, you said he's important. He is still alive. Cashback starting to get ahead in the terms of the HP. But can Yogurt come in right now with the clips and make something happen with these T57? The press and Humble, can they find something? I said not getting focused out. It's actually Little in his T57. He gets completely done for. Ramadik will not be able to finish Liberty, but so far neither team really the big winner out of this. Yeah, the HP is pretty much even, just a slight gun advantage for the side of Yogurt, but it's just a complete courtyard brawl. No one really has like the positional advantage necessarily. The BZs of course don't have great DPM, so Ramadek will find that kill on towards Liberty, and that's important because that's some crossfire angle that can open up, and he's able to support his teammate. Love still alive in the 1-1B. He's so fundamentally important, just inspiring his team the whole way, and they are rolling with that inspire, and they are going to win their first round here against Cashback, set up perfectly to counter this mid-courtyard pressure.
I just want to point out to everybody, I don't think we saw it, but every single caster prediction, including external as well, was 3-0.
Well, they showed us. They showed us, dude.
Yeah, sure. It was a good round.
They just threw a yogurt pot in my face right there.
Bro, just a yogurt. It's not that hard. Why do you have? Everybody knows it's a pot. Why do you have to mention it?
Cultural differences. Either way.
What cultural difference, bro?
Yogurt. They win their first round, and they put our predictions in the bin. And you know, as long as if we get a competitive match, like, do we really care? Besides, our points are all gonna remain even after that anyway. So, can Yogurt maintain this pace? I don't know.
I mean, they won one round, which is very good for them to start in this match by winning this round. To be honest, they need exactly that. They need to build off of that confidence if they can. Somehow get more out of it as well, which is a different story. But they did do a good job. Humble. Yeah, the man with confidence, Moff.
Yeah, you got to believe in yourself before anyone else believes in you. And Love, I said, important tank. The fact that he didn't get picked early on was just so critically important. And I think the way that Cashback wants to push there, they have to get some isolations, and they were just not allowed to do that. And in the end, if they can't get those isolations, the T57s, the BZs, they can't synergize, and it just turns into like a flat brawl. It's not really going to favor them.
Who knows what's possible for them? They had a really strong season start.
They did. They picked up, and they won the critical matches as well against the teams that they needed to beat. But it only gets harder when you move into phase 2. Yogurt bringing quad T57 heavy again. They swapped Love. Oh, never mind, we've got some musical chairs. We've got double Foch B430U and a light tank on Himmelsdorf.
Interesting. Cashback in return, double 50B, double 57, double CS, and a mouse. Yeah, that light is going to have to do a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting where he wants to plane at the start, because you can either do left or right of the spawn. So does he want to see if anything's going towards hill, or does he want to see if anything's going towards 1-2? He only spots 2 tanks, and he spots the tanks going at least they're going middle, but he spots the left hand side of the spawn. So he wants more info on what's playing 1-2 line, because his team is going that way.
Okay, now you see the pressed Humble and Ramadek arriving in the middle. Little already backing off, realizes he can't do that. They need to be careful. They're about to be met by Liberty and Barbarian, who are already starting to leave those tanks with a little bit of damage going their way. They are trading it out because, of course, it's 57 heavies. You're not able to sit safe. They don't have an invincible turret. And now the Foch B is pushing through on towards the D-line. The CS is already on the hill. Little now pushing in towards the cap. I think he realized that he was in trouble, but what can he really do from that? He's seemingly dead.
He does look to be dead, but the HP advantage is still with Cashback at the moment. The double 50B has just reached the top of the hill, but Little is already out of the round. What can the double 50B do from the top of the hill? The 430U is already flanking through the spawn right now, which is going to be... Well, you got to be careful there, Love, not to get caught. Triple 50B on top of the hill, triple strike even. A lot of damage being done there, and what can the triple 50B really accomplish from up here?
Love. They had such a big opening in this round, Moff, by getting that first pick, but now Love, you said he has to be careful, just kind of donating there in that 430U, to be honest.
Yeah, just misreading the situation. Just being a little bit too eager to make some kind of flanking play. Aka now dropping off from the hill, and you gotta be very slow and steady with this, because it's quite a steep drop. You don't want to find yourself losing HP unnecessarily without taking shots of damage. Aka now peeking in towards Humble, gets a good shot in there, and the advantage that Cashback took from killing that 430U, they should be able to just run with it. Squeezy just trading out with the T57 Heavy, which is maybe not the greatest idea in the world, but he's going to live nonetheless.
HP-wise, though, Yogurt clawing back into this battle. Now the press is chasing down Squeezy. He finds one. Immediately the strike comes in. That's the mini big strike from the CS63. He will find the second maybe here as well. Yeah, he does drop Squeezy towards the one shot, and now Barbarian coming in, trying to find Liquor, but he cannot. It will have to be Brain Breaker who does it. Mindbreaker in the meantime gets broken himself as he's out. 4 tanks left standing here for Yogurt, and Humble tries to find Aka. Aka bounces! Humble finds it! Big ego peak, but he makes it work though.
Important kill, and Kvik now in a bit of a weird spot in the light tank, having a 1v1 with Liberty and the T57 Heavy. Shots coming in from the top of the hill, which are very important as well. First track shot comes in towards Kvik. Can Liberty find the kill? And he gets the high roll as well. Unfortunate for Kvik there to go down, but you cannot help but think that Yogurt threw this round. They should have had it in the bag. Playing with 1 tank down from Love's misstep. Squeezy now closing in to try and get the final kill. The numbers advantage is going to come in clutch here for Cashback at the end, but the HP is just so very close. But with only 2 guns left, Ramadek's on reload, so he cannot do anything. Barbarian finds the kill on Depressed, and that's the game.
It should be the game. I mean, Brainbreaker
nah,
yeah, that's mini strike.
Surely
Brainbreaker will finish him off. He does not bounce these. But also close, and Love, you had the opportunity here to put your team on match point.
Yeah, that's got to be like, that's such like a heartbreaking moment as well, because you know from his point of view, he's caught in no man's land because he kind of knows what's going to happen, but he's like, the timing is just a bit off. He thought about going for the flank.
It would have been better to run through 5 line though at that point.
Yeah, potentially as well. But that's the problem, right? When you get caught in 2 minds about what you actually want to do, you end up choosing the worst possible option, which is just getting caught. Even if he played in the window, he could have actually like traded off his HP reasonably well. But it's such a sad way for them to lose the round, because they could have been up 2-0 on match point and really getting into an upset kind of match like we've seen from Ping. And Ramadek just trying to pick up the pieces, doing 7k in the T57 Heavy, but it's just not enough to compensate.
Full city here in the beginning for Yogurt. Yeah, Squeezy doesn't really get a spot out though.
I don't know, did he get any info on them actually crossing?
I don't think so.
Because the wall was not destroyed. Squeezy running low noise batchat, presumably. Usually good for that spotting run, but on this occasion, not so much. And Cashback are kind of split map here a little bit. They're actually going to rotate because they decide they want to hold the AEB line. They don't want to just give up and hold on the 7-8-9 line for free. Even the mouse, Izard, is not even going for the strike. He's going to let the Batchat take it instead and then go for the radar. Izard now starting the cap, so Cashback moving back and taking some control away. They have about a 3k HP advantage just at the start of the round without any shots being fired, owing to the double mouse.
Now, they need the double mouse morph, to be honest, to start probing, you know? Like, start being a little bit annoying. I said they're destroying the wagon, that's on purpose, so you can spot through it. So they have their lanes now, and how does Yogurt actually react to this?
Well, at the moment, they don't seem to know themselves. They're trying to figure out what they want to do. It looks like they're going to group up to push down the 1 line, but if that is the play, compared with the match we saw earlier on today with Lotus against Hit and Run, Cashback seems more than prepared to soak up any kind of pressure.
I said here trying to look for an angle against Vic. He might be able to find it through the windows. There's a few shots there. Quick trying to pen and return, but here it comes, Moff. Down 1-2 line, and unlike Lotus, somebody's waiting for this.
Yeah, Twilight is going to spot it through that little angle in the streets there, so the jig is up. They have the info that they need, so no one from Cashback really should be caught by surprise here, and Humble pops his ability. That is good that the Foshby is taking that initial damage, but it is a lot of damage. The strike comes in now. The rest of Cashback needs to react elsewhere across the map because Liberty is about to get deleted.
Liberty down and out, and Little in a lot of trouble as well in his V4, and now Love Liquor coming in, and the mouse is still stuck against the V4 together with a bad shot. Can Yogurt make something happen here? They need to take that potential of their autoloaders in hand and make it use. Barbarian, though, is not afraid of facing an autoloader. Not today, not tomorrow. He drops Humble out. He gets shot by Depressed immediately. Depressed finds Little as well, so a 2 double kill for him. And now we look at the HP though, it says up 4,000 for Cashback, but I would like to point out quickly that a lot of that is currently on those double mouses that they have available. Twilight is one of those mouses. He's starting to die because he no longer has the support, and unbelievably enough, man, it's gonna be Yogurt that should put themselves on match point here if they can close out these last few kills. I said coming in, finds Ramadik though before he was able to shut down Aka. Now Squeezy coming back in with 2 shots. Cashback still has something.
Bounce shot.
The bounce from Love. That's gonna be an annoying one. Quick finds one more shot though, and Squeezy's not able to find the kill on Quick in return. So it's a 2v4.
It is going to be a 2v4, but Ized is kind of isolated right now. Squeezy is still on reload and unable to support his teammate. Yogurt, they need to try and find the kill on towards Ized before Squeezy can get himself back in the game, but it's the late game pressure. We saw Ping struggle with it against Cashback as well. They're just under pressure. They're trying to peek against the mouse while side-scraping, and it's not a good situation for the 1-1B.
Nope, it is not indeed, but he's starting to find side shots on Ized as Liquor is like, okay, I guess I have to make the trades at this point. I have to do everything. Vic is going to get found by Squeezy though, but he does make a shot against the mouse, which gives Liquor now an opportunity to find the kill and get safe. He does just that as well. That last shot from the V4 might just be worth it at the end. Squeezy finds one-on-one towards Love though, now starting to back away. He has everything to play for. Squeezy, Season 2 MVP of the Onslaught Legends series. Can he do what he wants? Can he get out?
Can he get out is the question. Liquor has a good pre-aim angle if Squeezy chooses to cross there, but he seems to be wise to it. And now with Batchat Low Noise, he should be able to cross unspotted if he goes wide enough. This is a very, very winnable game for him. He has the HP advantage. 2 tanks are a one-shot for the side of Yogurt, both to a strike and a shell of his own. Only Liquor has HP to speak of, but the E4 is not a very mobile tank, so he can't really go hunting for the kill here. And Liquor is just going to sit on the cap, and Yogurt, they had such an opportunity, but now Squeezy, if he can convert this with a good shot there, fantastic. That's going to make Liquor a one-shot now as well, so 3 one-shot tanks from the side of Yogurt. Depressed trying to put in a shot from the back lines, but is unable to do so, and Squeezy decides to hold. He decides, oh, good shot from Depressed.
One shot to HG now. Good shot from Love as well on the outside. And Yogurt, you see they're a little bit stressed, and Squeezy now has to take the fight. The Liquor holding the angle with HG. It doesn't bend. It doesn't bend, but HG didn't intuition back. The nerves they're striking because 639, he was always going to kill him. Love now getting spotted out. Can Squeezy find the kill without... Oh, he misses on the first though. Needs to get it on the second. He does. Now a 1v2. Both of them are one shot. But Liquor misses again. He misses again.
Yeah, the pressure is really mounting here. Squeezy only 200 HP to speak of. The strike is now being collected. So
they
Squeezy...
have one already, no? The press.
Did he take it already?
I mean,
they have two strikes available. So if Squeezy gets spotted here, as long as they hit the strikes, this game should be done. But it's still just finely poised, balanced on a knife edge. Everyone is a one-shot in this round. Any mistake will be costly. Liquor, unfortunately, I don't think he had time to intuition back from HE, which is why he took that shot that only hit the tracks. But that could have been the game right there.
And now you can see, they know, Moff. They know, by the way. They know that they're currently winning.
Onslaught rules for a draw. The first rule is, if you have the gun advantage, you'll be winning if the game ends. 3 minutes 30 left to play for this. There's still a lot of time to wait. Liquor, will they go for a blind strike? That's the question, because that cooldown for the strike is only 40 seconds away. I'd love to see it if he blind struck the corner in A0.
I think they should blind strike. I think we should see like Liquor's POV, because he's going to potentially use the strike when it starts ringing, because he can, because the press still has it as well. But do you risk it, Moff? Because Squeezy can hear the strike going off as well, and then he knows he only has to dodge one anymore.
He does, but the way his tank is pointing, he'd have to drive forwards into the open, which could be potentially a bit awkward for him.
It's curious to see how Squeezy plays this out. He's hoping for a mistake.
He's zooming out right now because he wants to look at destroyed objects to see if any kind of movement, any kind of information is going to be given to him. Look at now. He did place a strike. He blinded. He did not guess the correct location, and he starts to collect another one. And we go again.
Now he goes. Now Squeezy is going. He realizes one strike used, but he will take the second one on time. But he knows where one of his opponents is. He's playing
Can't
around
get spotted
it.
though.
He cannot get spotted indeed. If he does, he's dead. Normally. He needs to eliminate one opponent before he uses a strike.
Yeah, Liquor just on the other side of that building. Squeezy has a good idea of exactly where he is, but he knows that he can't just push in and get that kill because Depressed in the T57 will almost certainly find the final kill. 1 minute 50 left to play for. Liquor, if he goes for another blind strike, Squeezy might just chance it.
I think Squeezy's hoping for that, actually. I really think Squeezy's hoping that there's another blind strike.
He's going.
Now, Liquor should hear the fences. But Squeezy knows that he could hear that. Spots him out. And he gets the shot. He gets one strike eliminated. Now the second one. Will it get him? It missed! It missed! It missed! Yogurt misses! Squeezy picks it up. One more opportunity there, though. I think the press should have been on the other strike.
Okay, but Daki, look at the HP.
Oh yeah,
right?
they still
Cashback had double mouse.
Yeah.
So the press just needs to survive and they should win because they've done more damage.
But Squeezy can take info and strike, no?
He's not going that way. There's 1 minute left on the clock. They're actually moving towards each other. Is the press looking the right way on the minimap? He gets spotted out somehow, bizarrely.
The wagons are destroyed.
The rail carts are destroyed, of course, and that means you can spot through them. But they both know where each other is, and Squeezy now is going for the strike. He's going straight for the strike. He knows it's his best chance of winning the round. What is the press going to do? 40 seconds left. Is Squeezy will have enough time to take it.
Uh-oh. The press now knows that Squeezy's on the strike. Does he drive away? Does he get D-spotted? Squeezy's going to take it. Squeezy might even peek him. He knocks over the 3. The press is coming. Does he predict the angle? He does actually predict it, and he gets it! He does get it. What a game.
Oh my god.
What a game.
And
think Yogurt.
Daki, oh my god. It could be 3-0.
It could be 3-0.
It could be 3-0. That's crazy. What a match though. What a match.
This Cashback team is starting to remind me a lot of W from Season 2.
Maybe. A lot of potential, but just not quite closing out these rounds cleanly enough. And, you know, even earlier in this round, Yogurt had an opportunity to close this out more cleanly, but in the end, they get it over the line with some missteps along the way from both teams. But the press guesses correctly at the end there with the clutch shot to finish the job and put his team on match point.
Yeah, it's one hell of a run from Squeezy there at the end. Almost got it. I still think, Moff, strike and info was a possibility after the press missed.
It could have been. But the pressure of those situations, like being able to make the right call objectively in that moment, is just so tough.
Ramadik, but luckily enough, I think for Yogurt, there's nobody there right now.
Yeah, Ramadik is pushing forwards as well, and if he goes a little bit further forwards, he should be able to get safe enough, but he doesn't seem to be aware of the immediate possibility of the flank, and no one from Yogurt is in position currently to cover him. Ramadik, the spot comes in now, so he has to be aware. He's trying to turn his mouse around, but is he going to get there in time?
He is going to turn around or start turning. He has a little bit of destructible object LOD to play with, but he is not in a good position right now. This quick push from Cashback. He's bouncing quite a decent amount of shots, so there comes the strike. It's going to hurt as well. And Yogurt coming back in. Now's their moment. Now's their opportunity. They know everybody's on reload. Fick coming past as well. Love Humble pushing back in. Aka in the Bliskavitsa doesn't have it in him to hold this push off. And this could be Cashback falling against Yogurt because they come back in. They lose the mouse, but can they find more out of this? Little still on that rail part. He's facing it off against Fick. Fick finds him, but he's getting surrounded now by Twilight. And I said that's a big strike hidden home on 4 targets. But this is Yogurt trying to make it happen, but this time around them off, they're bleeding really heavy. They're trying to get these autoloaders out of the game. Barbarian goes down. They're just ignoring the double mouse, continuing through. Squeezy still on reload. Can they find him before Twilight and Ice are able to do the damage? One more shot of Mindbreaker. The press has 2. Ice now coming in, picks up 1. Squeezy starting to drop low, but not low enough. Mindbreaker tanks all of it, and that will maybe keep him alive, but no Liberty with the 1-1B comes in and picks it up, and it's going to be 3v3.
It is 3v3, but there's a lot of HP on the mouse. If they can find the kill on Liberty, who is isolated right now, they may yet still win this round. They've still got Love as well. Double T57 heavy and 1-1B versus mouse is the ideal scenario here, and Liberty is bouncing shots here as Liquor is about to come off a reload and get the kill, and then it's going to be a 3 versus 2. The mouse, they have a lot of HP, and they may be very mighty, but they do not do well against double 57 heavy and a 1-1B in crossfire.
Twilight, can he get the shot there against the T57 heavy? No, he cannot. Liquor now is going to be the next focus for ISET and Twilight. Can he avoid one of the mouses? Would be huge. Ooh, he hits the building. Yeah. Drops him to a potential one-shot mob, 504. Love is DPMing out of his mind in that 1-1B. Misses a shot there. And now he has the problem, though. Both of his T57 friends are one-shots. He needs to take ISET's shot at this point. The press is coming behind ISET as well. ISET is now the linchpin here. He fires. Liquor now peeking as well. Twilight is already there, though. Liquor going, committing. He doesn't get the roll in return from Twilight. The press will find the kill, but Twilight will finish off Liquor. But that is not going to be it normally, as the strike comes in as well. He will find the kill, but it's a 2v1, and it's a bad situation for this mouse.
It is a bad situation. He does have the HP advantage, and Depressed is a one-shot. That's the only thing he's got going in his favor right now. A bounce shot from both players there. That could have been huge for Twilight if he made the 1-1B equally a one-shot, and it's just such a hard endgame to play for the mouse here. He's such a slow tank, and somehow he has to get the element of surprise, get the jump onto either of these two tanks here, and Depressed is disengaging. They're both playing for the strikes. Love has his own little pocket over here. He's going to wait for that one to cool down, and Depressed is taking the other.
Yogurt, we got to compliment them. They completely ignore these mouses until the very end. Just a block of like 8,000 HP driving behind them, but they do not care.
Yeah, it was perfect target prioritization there, and that's given them fantastic opportunity to close out this match. But if Twilight can upset the party, if he can find the kill, the strike goes in and it will connect. The mouse is going to find it very difficult to avoid getting struck there, and Twilight is actually going around the outside. The timing is just going to barely escape him unless Depressed drives back through the street. They look to have maybe lost track of where the mouse is. All it takes is a 50-50 if Twilight is looking the right way, but the radar is now being taken by Love, which is very, very smart, realizing the mouse is pushing aggressively in towards the city. The strike is available as well, so the radar gets used. Twilight's going to take another 400 damage, and the longer this goes on for...
It'll just chip him down. He cannot do anything. They have found the mice. He's near the water, and he can try and climb out of the bucket, but eventually he will drown.
Yeah, it's not a fun situation. Just like we saw with Yuzek earlier today, anytime the mouse gets into the end game, there's really not...
Okay, I take it back. He has one opportunity now, because he's cleared the 57, right? He can take info, strike, kill the press. It's a 1v1. Then he has an opportunity to go for Love.
He does, but it's still very difficult.
It is an almost impossible fight for him because the 1-1B kills him on DPM every time. I think you could also realize this, by the way. Like, I think they're like aware of, they're
closing in.
Oh, Twilight.
He's aiming the right way, kind of. And is he gonna go for it? He's not looking the right way. If the press peaks right now, he can close out this game, and he will. Yogurt, the surprise victory. They take it. David versus Goliath stuff. Incredible.
And they should have taken a 3-0.
It should have been 3-0.
That's the funniest part of all. They really should have won this game 3-0. They didn't, but they should have. Well played to Yogurt. Congratulations.
I've never been more happy that a prediction is completely in the bin, because that was a banger of a match. Mostly just because of the shock value. Like, we just didn't expect everything we've seen from Yogurt so far. We just did not expect this kind of performance to just... It felt like it came out of nowhere.
It did come out of nowhere, actually. Yogurt has shown nothing of this all season, and now they take down Cashback, who looked to be on the up and coming again, but no. And
yeah,
again,
that narrative has been quashed.
They tried to pick up this mouse, but Yogurt just came back in with a vengeance. And Cashback was so out of position individually, you know? Like, yeah, Aka
can we talk about an individual player right now? What a recovery from Love. After throwing the round on Himmels, he carries doing 6.8 in the 1-2-1B to close out the match.
We wouldn't be here if he didn't throw Himmels, though.
Yeah, but it's a good way to end. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, it's a good recovery.
And importantly as well, sorry to cut you off, they win 3-1, which means they get the full 3 points.
Exactly. And you know what that actually does for them? A lot. Currently, a lot.
They move on to 4 points, if I'm correct.
I think so as well.
Ahead of Lotus.
Yeah, but Ping also had 4 points, no?